order the Morris Township Board of Adjustment regular meeting for June 22nd, 2026. A legal notice is required in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act has been satisfied. A statement certifying same will be executed. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First, we have the approval of the minutes for March 23, 2026.
Do you want to do a roll call first?
Oh, yeah, let's have a roll call. Go ahead.
Mr. Goldberg,
Yes.
Mr. Trachtenberg,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Here.
Mr. Evangel,
Here.
Mr. Benoit,
Here.
Ms. Simmons,
Here.
Mr. Woodford.
Here.
We have our board engineer, Joe Voigt,
Here.
and I am the board secretary, Ryan Kirkpatrick, and our board attorney, Rich Uller.
Here.
Okay, first item is the approval of the minutes of March 23, 2026, regular meeting. Any comments, questions? If not, a motion to approve.
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None, motion carries. Next, we have several resolutions. The first resolution being on PA-02-26. Mr. Owen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a memorializing resolution with respect to the application filed by Kayleen and Matthew Diesel, yes, who applied to the board for permission to modify an existing non-conforming dwelling by constructing a two-story addition to the rear of their home, along with a new patio and new deck, which required variance relief for side yard setback and expansion of a non-conforming structure. For the reasons set forth in the resolution, that application was approved with, conditionally approved with our standard conditions.
Board members, any comments, questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Mr. Goldberg,
Yes.
Mr. Trachtenberg,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Evangel,
Yes.
Mr. Benoit,
Yes.
Ms. Simmons,
Yes.
Mr. Woodford.
They didn't hear it. You only have the ones who,
Oh, sorry.
sorry, yeah, so
Schuster,
Schuster's not here, Mr. Benoit.
Kramer's not here, and Mr. Woodford.
Yes, here, yes. All right, so that has been approved. Next, we go to the public hearings. First one is BA-24-25. Pardon? Gibbons.
So we did receive correspondence from Mr. Gibbons and his wife, who had filed an application with the board to construct a two-car garage on their property at 9 Norwood Court. And they have decided not to pursue that at this time and are requesting the board's concurrence to withdraw the application.
And that's without prejudice, so they can rebring it.
It would be without prejudice, and they can bring it in the future should they so decide.
Hey, board members, have you reviewed the proposed resolution? And if there's not any questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you. Just a roll call? Yeah, roll call.
Mr. Goldberg,
Yes.
Mr. Trachtenberg,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Evangel,
Yes.
Mr. Benoit,
Yes.
Ms. Simmons,
Yes.
Mr. Woodford.
Yes. Next is, oh, can I handle this one even? if it's
No.
this one?
No.
Well, you have to do it.
Can I do it from here, or would you like?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do it from there.
Okay. Next on the agenda is BA 2525, Block 2906, Lot 1140 Noble Drive, the RA 15 zone. I believe the applicant is also withdrawing their application.
Yes, and again, I've provided the board with a proposed resolution for that matter. As you know, the board started this application for Knollwood Holding LLC at 40 Knollwood Drive. Heard testimony in March, April of this year, And subsequently, we received correspondence from the applicant's attorney indicating that they would like to withdraw the application, that they intend to file a fully conforming construction plan, eliminating the need for all variances. So I, again, recommend that we agree on that withdrawal. The only condition, which is true on all withdrawals, is that the applicant post sufficient funds to satisfy any escrow accounts. So all of fees are paid.
Thank you, Mr. Oler. Board members, had a chance to review? Any questions, clarification sought?
I'll make that motion.
Motion to second, let's have a second.
I'll second that, Mr. Goldberg.
Thank you very much. Mr. Secretary, roll call?
Mr. Goldberg,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Evangel,
Yes.
Mr. Benoit,
Yes.
Ms. Simmons.
Mr. Earl, may I ask Ryan a question if he has a total pay, what's outstanding?
Yeah, when we spoke this afternoon, I gave you a figure for all professional invoices that have been received to date. And then I'll still conferring with our board engineer and our board attorney, see if there's any outstanding, and I'll give you a final tally of what that is. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Next is BA-04-26. That's also a
Yeah.
request to withdraw without prejudice.
Another withdrawal request, and again, I've prepared a proposed resolution with respect to the application from Sean and Teresa Keeler, property at 6 Longwood Road. They have submitted correspondence also to withdraw their application, and again, without prejudice, and the only condition being that they would have to post sufficient funds to pay any escrow balances, if any.
Board members, any comments, questions? If not, a motion, please.
Motion to approve?
Thank you. Have a second? Thank you. Roll call?
Mr. Goldberg,
Yes.
Mr. Trachtenberg,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Evangel,
Yes.
Mr. Benoit,
Yes.
Ms. Simmons,
Yes.
Mr. Woodford.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we go to BA 03-26. Richard and Susan Tangle, Block 9002, Lot 20, 16 Fairleigh Road, RA 35 zones, with C variance to a applicant's proposed to install a home standby generator with a right side yard setback of 12 feet with 30 feet of requirement. Good evening, sir. Can you have your name?
Yep, you're good.
It's on.
Are you Mr. Tangle? Would you stand and raise your right hand, please? I swear you. You solemnly swear that the testimony you will give to this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. And again, for the record, your name, please?
Richard Tangle, 16 Featherly Road.
Okay. And you're the owner applicant of the property?
Yes, I am.
In this application? Okay.
So, Mr. Tangle, tell us about the application and what you propose to do and the facts of the case.
Sure. Okay. So we've been in the township 43 years and we decided we want to stay. We'll die here. So I'm in my 70s and we're getting older. So we figure we want to have reliable power, which we haven't had in the past few decades. So we looked at solar. We decided to go with a standby generator from Generac is the manufacturer, and there's a few in the neighborhood and around the region. So we decided to make an application or get before the board and get the approval for that. We are putting it in front of our air conditioning condenser, which I understand that doesn't need board approval to be there by a house, but the generator does for, I assume, more its function and its look. But anyhow, so we're here, and side yard setbacks. We've over the years we put in a shed and an addition, and we've had to get approvals for that. So our side yards are the homes don't meet the side yards that we have.
Right.
So now with the generator, I moved, it's going to be about 12 feet from my neighbor's property line. And so we need a side yard variance because we violate the required setback of 30 feet. And so that's why I'm here before the board. We meet the noise requirement. Your previous engineer, Mr.
Hanson.
Mr. Hanson. Mr. Hanson, yeah, he was by, and I gave him the spec sheets on the generator, and he checked it out himself, and both went through the calculation for the noise, and it meets the noise requirement at the property line. And I spoke to all my neighbors. I went personally and got all the sign-offs from them, and I didn't hear any issues. Oh, they're not online, but no objections to
So
what we're
you
proposing.
spoke to the neighbor most affected,
Oh, yes, yeah.
and he or she
And,
has no
issues, yeah. And he has a pull-out generator, and he knows that's 10 times noisier than this generator is going to be. But, yeah, he has no issues with that.
Okay,
So we're asking the board's concurrence for that.
so where does I take it the generator is located along the gas line or near the gas line approaching the house?
Yes, it's in the corner, the side of the house where we have the chimney on the side, and there's our air conditioning condenser, and it's a little cutout on the side. So we're putting it in front of the condenser with the proper clearance for the generator to function properly. And that's where it's going in there. We have a 6-foot board-on-board fence between us and the neighbor. I have 25-foot arborvitaes that have grown over the years, and it's a very dark corner, shaded, but one bush, we are going to make sure there's evergreen plantings in front of it once it's in. Looks like we may have to remove one yew we have, which is an evergreen large bush,
Right.
because the deer, especially this past winter, have eaten from the ground up 6 feet. So you could kind of see through the yew to see the condenser. So we'll get something lower and dense, and because we want it to look nice too. We don't want to see the box either. So we'll do that.
Okay. Board members, any questions? What?
Do you need a second variance for a secondary, there's 2 accessory structures, because there's a shed.
Well, he has a shed, so this would be a second accessory structure, or no?
No,
No?
no, we've never done that for a generator.
Okay.
Yes. The generator does not count as an accessory structure.
Right.
Okay.
But as was noted in his testimony, right, there is a difference between the pertinence of an air conditioning condenser and the generator as an additional improvement to the home. So, considerations of them in the setback and the additional noise that needs to be mitigated is why they're in front of you.
Right. Okay. And we usually attach conditions to this, right, about as far as testing it?
Yes, testing is,
Oh, yes. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. So I'm going to make sure it's programmed to run like a Wednesday around midday, noon for like 5 minutes. So it's not on a weekend or a holiday. So not a Monday or Friday, not a Saturday, Sunday. So it just exercises for a short, brief period. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any questions, board members? Any members of the public have any questions? Seeing none, hearing none, close the public portion. Does our engineer have any questions?
I do not.
Okay. Any discussion on this? It looks like it meets everything that we always ask for at a generator. Proper screening, meets the requirements at the property line as far as noise. So I would be in favor of this, and I'd entertain a motion.
Well, being that there's no nothing here extraordinary, no lighting or what have you, so I'll make a motion that we approve this application.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, roll call?
Mr. Goldberg,
Yes.
Mr. Trachtenberg,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yeah.
Mr. Evangel?
Yes.
Mr. Benoit?
Yes.
Ms. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Woodford?
Yes. So you be approval.
Okay, thank you, board.
Yeah, I'll have that resolution for, at the next meeting next month.
Okay, so it's 30 days for, so I'll get the contractor on board, but have to wait till the next board meeting to approve
Right,
the
that's when
resolution.
we'll have a resolution for you.
Okay, very good.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you. I want to thank Mr. Kirkpat too, and Erin for walking me through the process and
Happy to help.
very courteous, professional, so thank you.
Okay,
you.
thank you. Hope you don't have to use it.
43
You will.
We all hope that.
Yeah. Right.
Take care.
Good night.
Take care. Okay, what do we have next?
I don't know.
I gave it back.
Okay.
I thought I did. I might have put it, taken, I might have taken it again, yeah. Next, we have BA-05-26. Richie Trevidi, Block 3003, Lot 5, 37 Egbert Avenue, RA 25 zone, Section C. Applicant proposes the construction of a single-family dwelling. Variance relief is requested for a front yard setback of 45.91 where 60 is required. And a waiver is also requested of the Morris Township Ordinance 57-160 for disturbance of steep slopes.
I'm going to swear you both in at the same time as soon as he's ready there, okay? Would you both please stand and raise your right hand? And Joe, too. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you'll give to this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And for the record, all your names, please.
David Fantina.
Thank you. Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Well, I'm the engineer, David Fantina, and it's been many years since I've appeared before the board. I should probably say that I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey, been licensed since 1987, hired at my own firm since 2001, and came to appear before the board since,
And your license is in good standing, I take it. We'll accept you as a engineer professional.
Thank you very much. So the property you have in front of you, that's actually better. The property you see in front of you, Mr. Trevedi's property at 37 Egbert Avenue, is somewhat unusual in a number of respects. One thing, the existing conditions are up on the board right now. It's in the RA25 zone, which requires 25,000 square feet. This is a 40,000 square foot lot. As the board will notice, essentially the entire Egbert Avenue is on the applicant's property, which creates a hardship because in order for us to put the house with the appropriate setback, it's going to be set way back towards the back of the property. In addition to that, this property was combined with the property to the right of the north. So there's a number of improvements on the property right now. There's a tennis court, which is shown in gray. There's actually an existing garage that straddles the property line that's on the neighboring property. It does straddle the property line. There's some walls and some fences, some other improvements. They'll all be removed, with the exception of the garage, of course, that's still being used by the neighbor. And if you go to the second sheet there, the proposed conditions.
Are we waiting for,
I have an update going, so I apologize. I
I can
can't.
do it.
I'm kind of locked out right now.
I can do it the old-fashioned way, actually.
Okay.
And the proposed conditions, what we've shown is this proposed walls, which will replace the tennis court which is shown in the back, and the dwelling is going to be 45 feet and change off the front property line, being the right-of-way line here, Again, once again, the entirety of the property, of the road is on the property. We talked to Mr. Vucci, who was very helpful in this working through this little bit of morass of the situation. And we talked about the possibility of moving the house back to comply. However, we didn't feel that was a good idea. I don't think, on the words in his mouth, I don't think he felt that was a good idea. And I actually met with the neighbor who was here tonight, just met with her 15 minutes ago. And I think there's a good reason from her point of view not to move it back. We could move it back to comply, but if we did that, we would move closer to the rear property line. Wouldn't have nearly as much of a usable rear yard. In addition, we would be moving back towards the steep slopes. The board notes that the colored slopes here are the slopes that are not to be disturbed. We are disturbing a significant amount of them. That's why we require a waiver. But if we remove it back, we'd probably make that even worse. So we think that putting the house where it is works well with the neighborhood, does not affect the rear property where our closest contour that we're moving is about 40 feet from the rear property line, so there'll be no impact to any of the neighbors to the rear of us. And we think it fits in very well. That's really all I have to say.
Okay. How much steep slope is being disturbed?
I have the numbers here. It's part shown on the second sheet. The area 15 to 20% is 1,471. And 25%, the 1,471 actually complies. 25%, we're only allowed to disturb 569 square feet plus or minus. We're disturbing 1,457. And then 25% plus square feet, we're not supposed to disturb any of that. And we're disturbing 1,383 square feet of that. All of this area has already previously been disturbed. If you go out and look at it, I'll go back to the existing conditions for a moment. Nothing is pristine on this lot because you have the tennis court, you have a couple of retaining walls, you have the garage on the neighboring property, a little walkway. This has all been disturbed previously, but it is steep slope.
So the part of the steep slope is the result of the tennis court being put in there?
It is, yes, especially because there's some terracing that's done there, yes.
Right.
So while engineering didn't have specific plans to refer to on the exact limit of disturbance of the prior improvements on the site, this tract was part of the adjacent parcel. So it was the amenities tract to the home on the neighboring property.
Right.
I'm confident that all of the areas being proposed to disturb are effectively prior disturbed steep slopes
Right.
that were then man-made to facilitate the flat areas for the tennis court and
Right.
others. As he discussed in his testimony, the discussion over utilizing the flat area for the home and pushing back further creates issues with better planning alternatives by reducing a rear yard and habitable space and patios, putting that encroachment essentially onto the neighbors to the rear,
Right.
as opposed to siting it more centrally as proposed in the center of the property and getting the front yard setback relief.
Yeah, and this street, just about every home was built prior to any zoning ordinance.
Yes, and you'll see from the title, Egbert is within the property wholly. So
Right.
the roadway, the right-of-way was dedicated from this parcel as opposed to from a
Splitting it.
portion of it.
Right.
So the depth of this original lot included that right-of-way. And that coming out of the property in dedication, right, to the
So that
municipality
that brings
really
it-
created arguably a C1 hardship on the front yard setback.
Right.
And then the rest of the balance of the mitigation is for the steep slopes variance, which I do support being a better planning alternative centrally located than moved into another portion, because effectively the entirety of the site is steep slope, right, except for a very small portion.
Right.
And so it's more critical to preserve the steepest slopes than the lesser slopes.
in the analysis.
I've walked up that street many times.
Yes.
When I feel like getting exercise.
I don't anymore because I went to Lehigh, so everything was uphill.
Everything was uphill.
I don't do hills anymore.
Okay, board members, any questions?
So I have a question about this garage that's over the property line here. So is that your garage or your neighbor's?
And do you have any kind of agreement with them on what's going to happen with that garage?
So I had to allow that small portion that's on my lot. If they ever break it down, they have to rebuild it on their side.
Okay,
But they can keep it on my,
okay,
So
so,
is there an agreement to that effect?
it was part of the closing, the attorneys, I forget what they called it, but. I had-
Is it in your deed or is it a recorded document, do you know?
It's a recorded document.
Okay, have you seen that?
I haven't, but I've had the same conversation of
Yeah.
the understanding of it being as part of the purchase, and it came out of the property with the encroachment.
right, it was this lot was subdivided out of that.
Created this
Originally, I
land.
believe, subdivided and then sold from common ownership to
Right,
this
right,
applicant.
Okay.
right. Because I think we've had didn't we have an application on this in the past for this tennis court, or is that another one up the hill?
I don't think it was this one.
There's another one up the hill, I think. Okay, so it was the other one. All right. Any other questions from board members?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Trivedi, as you build out this property and build the home, do you have any plans for anything behind the home, especially in that area where the tennis court was, like a patio or?
The patio is just part of the home. I'm not building anything extra.
Okay,
Maybe a small fire pit area or something, but that's it.
Okay.
and do you have a sense of where that would be as we're looking
I
at
haven't
these
even
plans?
decided, so-
You haven't decided?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other board members with questions?
So, Mr. Chairman, we don't need to worry about or anything having to do with the street right away going through the property? It's
That's just
nothing?
part of the hardship that they, instead of like centering usually, the street is centered between the two lots.
Yeah,
This one, they pushed it all on one side.
Yeah.
That's done occasionally. That was probably just done because it was easier contour as opposed to going on the other side of the street or moving it over. And like I said, all this was built before there was any zoning.
right. Okay, thank you.
So I can actually put a toll booth on my lot.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Well, not quite. And that's in all jest, right? But that is why we don't have to attend to it, is that it is properly surveyed with the dedication of the right-of-way. The road is improved. It is accepted. It is our road. It is not in doubt. It just so happens to be through the entirety of the property. So sometimes we have this come up where title change show to the center line or the full road instead of having the deed corrected with meets and bounds that
Okay,
remove that from the titled property. But that is, it's already in the legal standing of the deeds.
okay, thank you. I was wondering about that when I was looking at the plans.
It would, normally if this was a subdivision, we would address that at this time because the subdivision would include new meets and bounds descriptions and a map with whether it's filed or for the purpose of deed filing. In this instance, it's somewhat cost generative to the applicant to require that of the approval when it's already in the deed chain. It's just not in their meets and bounds corrected.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And their property should be assessed accordingly based on that loss of land value already.
I would think so.
He's going to quote you on that with the taxes.
Should be, and if not, it can be corrected. There's an administrative remedy for that.
Okay, any other board members with questions? Any members of the public with any questions? Yes,
Yes, I do.
sure. Is questions or comments?
Questions, technical questions.
Okay,
We have your name, please?
Yes, so my name is Dana Pochoday Stelmach, Pochoday-Stelmach. I'm a 26-year resident at 19 Alexandria Road, which is one of the properties that's above the subject property. I found out about this today and about the sale, and I did have a little discussion with the current owner and the architect and the engineer, because I did have some concerns about my property at 19 Alexandria and also my neighbor at 17 Alexandria and 15 Alexandria, which abut the back end of the subject property. My concern is that all of these number 15 to 17 and most of Alexandria is on a sloped hill, and all of the houses on the side that abuts the subject property is lower than the street. So all of our backyards are sloping, and we're always fighting erosion. Dealing with water issues and dealing with the weather and so forth.
So if you recall, the chairman asked if you were going to ask questions.
Okay, yes.
Because if you're going to comment, I have to swear you in, but we will get to that.
Okay, so my specific questions are, given the possible erosion that could possibly destabilize the slopes of all of these properties uphill, has there been some sort of geological technical study done in order that would show that it would not be, that the slope would not be disturbed, there would not be a shear band being formed and no fracture in the hill forming above the property, thereby shifting all of the soil downward and shifting the structures that are there on the upside of the property?
That's a very
Can
valid
you
point.
push that button?
Yeah.
Yeah, just, you have to hold it down. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. Button down there still right. Okay, yeah, thank you for that question. That's a very legitimate question. No geotechnical testing was done. However, as I had said before, we're about 40 feet from the rear property line, and the amount of cutting that we will be doing out there would not cause any form of a shear band or any kind of destabilization on your property at all, because we're far enough away and not going deep enough to cause any problem at the property line.
Would the water table, water content somehow be shifted if you're like moving around the soil and whatever's underneath the tennis court and all of that? Would that cause a change in the water table? Because right behind all these Alexandria properties, I would say about 10 years ago, there was a ditch that was put in by number 35 Egbert on his property, and it went through the past owner's property, the 37 Egbert, and going down towards Sussex Avenue. There was some concern by my engineer at that time whether or not, if there was a big amount of water coming barreling down the back of Alexandria and gushing out all the way down towards the bottom of Sussex Avenue, if there were to be a big storm or snowstorm or something like that going on. Thankfully, there hasn't been so far. There has been some water in the ditch, but then other years there's been minimum water there. So, but the concern is there some, I don't know about the water tables on this property. Are there underwater, little rivulets going that would be disturbed, that would somehow affect this ditch? Because if that ditch becomes somehow changed, then the soil in front of it would start eroding.
So let's just go one question at a time.
Right, okay.
Okay?
So
First question is do you anticipate that there would be any water flow through here that would impact the slope, which would then ultimately impact her property?
No, because we're significantly lower than she is.
Yeah.
So the answer is no on that one. But the kind of the follow-up that I'm hearing is would we be affecting the water table? And I would not anticipate affecting the water table at all. Recall that a lot of what we're moving out or what we're digging out is not natural. It's the tennis court and the walls that were built and that sort of thing. So it's not a pristine environment. And I don't know if the water table was affected at that point, but I don't think anything we're doing there will have any impact on the water table in the area.
Or to destabilize the ditch there, that is all the way right underneath all of the Alexandria Road properties, but on the other side, on the Egbert side. It's directly underneath the end of everyone's property.
I don't see a ditch on this property. The contours don't indicate a ditch.
But if there was a ditch along the property line or on your property, again, we'll be too far away from it to be affecting it in any way.
Okay. And then I did ask you before of whether heavy equipment or excavation with the vibrations, would that cause, any sort of effect or erosion to the Alexandria properties?
I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but once again, we're too
Yeah.
far away
Okay.
to be affecting it.
Right, so it is dependent on how close you built this house to the Alexandria properties. right?
Yeah, and how close the grading gets, but all of that is right now set pretty far from your property line.
Okay, and,
Just on that point, you said 40 feet, that was the 40 feet to the limit of disturbance from the property line, and the home itself, the foundation is about 80 feet?
Yeah, 40 feet is about the last contour that we've drawn, but you're 80 foot to the actual house, correct?
so like before you start the actual construction or even after the construction is done, would there be some sort of checking of, if there has been any disturbance to the properties?
That's not ordinarily done. The only time I've ever seen that done is when the board or the engineer has some reason to feel that would be the case. If we're immediately adjacent to a property that's destabilized for some reason. I don't see anything in this application that would warrant that.
Okay. And let's see if there's anything else here. So, yeah, so basically that's the big concern. I think for us Alexandria residents, we would prefer the property to be as close as possible to Egbert. Oops. Sorry, I know that's a comment.
You can sub up in a minute, but you gotta be on the road.
Do you have other questions?
I think that for now, it's this erosion.
Let's see if there are other questions by anyone in the public, and if not, you can come back up and make your statement, okay?
Any other members of the public with any questions on this application?
Okay.
Seeing none, hearing none.
Come back.
Now you can come back and get sworn in.
Now I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you'll give to this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And your name hasn't changed in the last 3 seconds,
It
right?
has not.
All right, thank you.
Okay, tell us.
Yes, so as a 26-year resident, one of the reasons I loved living in that neighborhood was when I looked in my backyard, it was peaceful and quiet. No one used that tennis court in the 26 years that I've lived there, and I loved having the peace and quiet, and that was like a big selling point for me. I hope that when your house is eventually built, that it'll still be peaceful and quiet, and my birds won't fly away, and I won't be hearing like noise that I've never heard before going on, and what was the reason why I bought that particular house. But as I mentioned before, the reason that I'm here, I'm concerned about erosion because all of our houses have these very slopey backyards. I've put in so many bushes and there's so many attempts to try to stop the erosion, but somehow the weather affects it. So if there's any water movement underneath, it causes everything else to slide down. And as a 26-year resident, I've observed the changes going on, and we're always fighting that battle. So that's why I was concerned about anything being disturbed right underneath at the toe of the hill, cutting the toe and then causing fractures much higher up and sending the soil further down and affecting the value of our properties, because then, I don't know, putting up retaining walls or so what is a very expensive proposition for everybody. So I do hope that if there is, if you go ahead with building a house that is closer to the front street in order to not cause potential erosion or water issues to all of these Alexandria properties that abut your property, and that it will continue to be a peaceful area to continue living in. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other members of the public wishing to be heard on this application? Seeing none, hearing none, close the public portion. Board members, can I hear any comments? What do people think about this application? Mr. Benoit.
Mr. Chairman, I agree it's a hardship. And other than that, everything else would fit perfectly well within the zoning. And based in large part on our engineer's testimony with the slopes, I think that the applicant's done a good job of minimizing negative effects, the negative criteria of damaging the steep slopes. So considering those, I would be in favor of approving the application.
Okay. Any other members with comments? Yeah, I agree with you entirely. I understand your concern. I know how steep those streets are. I've been up and down them many times. I live in the neighborhood right next to yours for the last 39 years. Yes, I appreciate your concern. But I think they've done everything they can to minimize it, to move the house forward so that it's further away from Alexandria and minimizing the disturbances. So I would be in favor of this application also. So could I hear a motion on this?
Well, Mr. Chair, we've had issues with water in certain neighborhoods in Morris Township before. I think that I'm not that comfortable with disturbing the back front there where it's already terraced, it's already sloping, and we're not confident how much water or damage there too could be done to the neighbor's property. I think that for me personally, to be a little bit more confident in it all, that I would need there's and Joe helped me out here. Is there another report that we can get to ensure that this 40 feet away is okay? It's not going to disturb those people in the back. I mean, we're talking about serious problems here as far as home values and damage, structural damage. I think it needs a little bit more consideration myself.
So the limits of disturbance are aligning in the rear of the property with the rear edge of the tennis court area. So I think that was a specific component of the design, that this originally started as a zoning review concurrent with a lot grading review. And then we identified the variances and then stopped the lot grading review. And one thing we were looking at and considering was specifically that, not looking at impacting the area, what is west, plan top, west of the existing limit of that flattened area. And further, that flattened area is being minor regraded to swale from a high point in the middle of it to the sides of the home, so that there is a usable lawn space in the rear still with minimal grading changes of cut fill. To that concern, there is still a lot grading permit to obtain with this approval, right?
Could you define what that means?
So that would be the plan as you see it now would then, with an approval contemplated by the board, would be submitted to the engineering department for lot grading review of all the proposed lot grading disturbance, as well as the stormwater management of the dry well system. As essentially a cost savings measure of this process, not including that into this review and approval, but then just subsequently doing it under a small fee application to the engineering department afterwards. So if there are specific concerns regarding that you'd like to note into the conditions of the intent to work with the engineering department to minimize any other extent or decrease that impact in the rear, that would be appropriate.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Correct.
And to that point, I think it can be relatively easily accomplished in the relationship I have with the applicant's engineer.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
I'd just like to echo Mr. Williams's concerns. I appreciate the resident behind the property and the concerns about the disturbing and what that would potentially mean to her lot and the value of her property, as well as the peace and the quality of life of that. So greatly appreciate you taking the time to give us those comments. I also appreciate, Mr. Goich, that you are very aware of what the issues are related to that, and that we can have some assurance that that will continue to be
Yes.
evaluated throughout the duration of this property, and that there is a good working relationship. So I am in favor of this application with that condition in place, and I appreciate Mr. Williams's caution as we consider it. And therefore, Mr. Woodford, I submit a motion to approve the application with the condition regarding that back area.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, roll call?
Mr. Goldberg,
Yes.
Mr. Trachtenberg,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Evangel,
Yes.
Mr. Benoit,
Yes.
Ms. Simmons,
Yes.
Mr. Woodford.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right. Any other matters before the board? Do you want to make a comment about the master plan?
I just have one question. Just for other matters. There was an application we approved a number of years ago for the learning experience up on the triangle.
Right.
Right, so that's all built out and up and running as a business. We did stipulate as part of that approval, they were allowed to put a sign up on the corner of their property that says coming soon, the learning experience with the colorful elephant and all that. And that was going to be taken down once they opened. They've been opened for about, I don't know, maybe a year and a half. So just was wondering, I mean, I know it's a little detail, but I think we should, that was the intent of the board at the time to not have that sign there as a permanent fixture. So I don't know what the process is for reaching out to them, having them take it down, addressing it. So nothing major, but just want to just
They have
Tied-
a monument sign too, right?
correct.
So you're saying there's the monument.
The monument sign's fine,
coming
but
soon
it's a
sign?
big colorful, and that was the board, we were trying to prevent that sort of colorful elephant
Right, right.
cartoonish
Yes.
type of look and feel as we enter that sort of neighborhood. So I just think it would be appropriate to have them remove it.
Right.
That's all.
Right,
All right.
so
I know everyone's busy.
Brian, you're gonna let the zoning officer know that? Okay.
And that, is that on the Columbia Road frontage
Correct,
Correct.
at the driveway entrance?
correct.
Right.
It's a fairly substantial sign, yeah.
Probably a balance of the temporary sign on top of like what you just said about the intent of the sign character, but both signs remaining would be not compliant with our
Right.
signage ordinance.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. And before, Tim Quinn was here mentioning that our town planner would like to come into a board meeting and review some master plan discussion changes, et cetera. We were looking at the schedule before, in July looks like as good a time as any. I think the board's going to get pretty busy after that. Not that you haven't been busy already, but there's some things coming. So
And they would like to get this done as soon as possible.
yeah, they're trying to get it done during the summer.
Yep.
So yeah.
And just an add-on to that, I serve on the steering committee for the master plan. And I would encourage you all, I know that some of you have been to some of the public forums that we've held. A survey will be going out within the next week to 10 days. And I encourage you all to take the time to respond to that survey and help us think about what issues are important as we think about, and it will be a rewrite of the entire master plan. It's not just fine tuning it, it's rewriting the whole plan and thinking about it from a zoning perspective.
Right.
So,
So Ryan's going to get some information from Liz and he'll forward that out before the next packages are sent. So you have sufficient time
We'll look at it,
through it.
read through it, get your questions together so we can hear and have a meaningful discussion when they come before us.
Unfortunately, I won't be here on the 27th of July, but maybe you all
Well, you know, this is nothing, there's no vote or anything. It's mostly just suggestions. So if you have suggestions, please send them in. And that goes for any other board member.
Is there anything else on the agenda that night at this point, or?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, that's okay.
No, one time we had an August meeting where there's nothing on the agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time.
Surprise.
Just jinxed us.
That would not be the only agenda item. I'm just waiting to finalize a few other items, but I think it might be the most,
Time consuming.
I just think it's the most appropriate time to do it with
Okay.
the other things coming down the pike.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, comments?
I'd like to note that the piles at the Abbey came down. So I'd like to thank whoever was involved in getting that done because it makes a big difference.
Yes. And what is the
Really?
status of the Abbey? Just
In short, I understand there's a man with a hat on their side of the table, and he is part of the diligence that got that done, right? Those types of activities. The man of his word years ago and had left them and joined them again. So these kinds of coordination efforts are much easier and quicker now.
Great.
The status of the Abbey, I think, is still subject to Restoration Harbor and their next move. I'm not too familiar with if they've made any direct statement as to their next advance of the project. So I think it still sits somewhat in limbo. They're cognizant of what they haven't done in property maintenance.
That's great.
And then as we go from there, we'll see their overall intent of development, hopefully start this person.
see it in my lifetime.
I can say comparatively, they are making investments in other locations currently. So I think the economic side of their investment, I think there's opportunity for it as opposed to a climate where perhaps previously they've been in dormancy for economic reasons.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
While we have a minute, maybe, Mr. Wojcik, if you happen to know or can update the board, I know some local residents have reached out to me with the DOT and the flyover at 24, or coming off of 24 onto Park Avenue, where they've been given notice that the county's doing some impact studies to wetlands right on their property line abutting 24, and speaking with the county engineer's office, that it looks like, from what they're saying, is that the DOT is, there's funding there, but they need to go through some additional assessments, and that they'll be reaching out to talk to the individual towns that are impacted by this over the next few months. Has anything come across your desk in terms of
Nothing specific, other
Right.
than just that generality.
just that generality?
Of understanding that they have funding that is being put into place to make investments and improvements, and part of that is starting this diligence process of what are the environmental constraints, and if they were to look to make improvements, how would they have to go through the permitting process?
Okay, thank
I
you.
think if they're in there and probably in the next 3 to 6 months, we would see them approaching each of these municipalities.
Okay, thank you.
Any other matters to discuss? And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So
Do
moved.
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?